All right, let's dive in. Have you ever found yourself trying to talk about something you're doing right now, but you want to talk about how long you'll have been doing it by some point in the future? Sounds kind of tricky, right? Well, there's a specific English tense for exactly that, the future perfect progressive. Now, I know, the name is a mouthful, but trust me, once we break it down, you'll see it's actually super logical and incredibly useful.
So here's our game plan for today. We'll start with what this tense is all about. Then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of how to actually build the sentence, and it's easier than you think. We'll look at a bunch of examples to make it all click. Then we'll do a quick but really important comparison with another tense that often gets mixed up, and we'll finish up with a special tip just for Arabic speakers.
All right, first things first. What is this tense even for? What's its main job? Okay, so picture this. You've been working on a project. It started a while ago, you're still working on it now, and you know you'll still be working on it next Friday. How do you say all of that in just one sentence? How do you talk about that whole continuous journey? Well, that's exactly what this tense is built for. If there's one word you need to burn into your brain for this tense, it's duration. That's the whole point. We're not just saying something will happen, we're focusing on how long it will have been happening by a certain time in the future. It's like a bridge that connects the past, the present, and the future all in one go. Okay, so how do we actually put a sentence together using this tense? The best part is there's a super simple formula for it, and it never, ever changes. Once you learn it, you've got it for life. It's basically a three-step recipe. Super easy. Step 1, you grab your subject. You know, I, she, the team, whatever. Step 2, you add the magic phrase. And this is the part you just memorize. Will have been. And step 3, you take your main verb and just slap an ing on the end. That's literally it. Subject, will have been, and a verb with ing. Boom, you're done. All right, the formula is great, but let's be real. Examples are where it all starts to make sense. So let's look at a few and see how this works in the real world. Okay, look closely at this one. You see the two key pieces? First, there's the future point in time, by the end of this course. That's our deadline. And then there's the duration, for 3 years. The sentence is basically saying that the studying has been going on and will hit the 3-year mark right when the course finishes. I love this example. It really shows how you're doing two things at once. You're looking ahead to a future moment in March, but at the same time you're looking back at how long the action will have been going on. The teaching didn't start in March, it started way back in the past, and we're just measuring its total length up to that future point. Now this one shows us something really cool. Your future deadline doesn't have to be a specific date or time, like March or 9 p.m. It can be another action. Here, the deadline is by the time we get there. So the tennis playing is the ongoing action, and our arrival is the future event that we're measuring up to. Okay, let's tackle something that trips a lot of people up. There's another tense, the future perfect, that sounds almost the same, and it's super easy to mix them up. So let's put them right next to each other and see exactly what makes them different. So you can see the main difference right there in what they're used for. The future perfect is all about completion. Think of it like a finished task you can check off a list. I will have lived here. It's done. But the future perfect progressive, our tense for today, is all about duration. It's not about the finished task, it's about the process, the ongoing journey. I will have been living here focuses on the time spent living there. So here's the easiest way to remember this. Just ask yourself, am I talking about the finish line or am I talking about the race? If you're focused on the finish line, the completed action, you want the future perfect. But if you're talking about the race itself, you know, the process, how long it's been going on, then you need the future perfect progressive. Completion versus duration. That's the whole game. Okay, and for our final section, I want to talk directly to native Arabic speakers for a moment. We know that the English tense system can be, well, a bit of a headache. So let's talk about why this particular tense can be tricky and what you can do about it. Really, it all comes down to how the two languages are built. English is kind of obsessed with time, so it has something like 12 different tenses to show every little detail. Arabic is much more efficient and context-based, usually relying on just 3 main tenses. Plus, you know how in English every sentence has to have a verb? That's not always true in Arabic. So a phrase like will have been doing doesn't have a simple direct translation. It forces you to think about time in a slightly different way, focusing on that continuous action. Okay, to wrap this all up and really make it stick, let's make it about you. I want you to think about this question. By this time next year, what is something you will have been doing for a while? Maybe you'll have been learning an instrument, working on a fitness goal, or studying a new language. Whatever it is, applying this tense to your own life is the absolute best way to master it. Thanks so much for tuning in.